Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are keeping well at home. Children, in the last Zoom session, we have discussed about curved mirrors. Today in this video, I will recapitulate that part only, okay? See children, we are going to discuss about curved mirrors today. What is a curved mirror? A curved mirror is a mirror with curved reflecting surface. This is the definition of curved mirror. Again I am repeating. A curved mirror is a mirror with curved reflecting surface. A curved mirror is a part of a sphere which is made up of glass, so it becomes reflecting in nature. That's why it is called a curved mirror. Now curved mirrors are of two types: concave mirror and convex mirror. What is the difference between concave mirror and convex mirror? See children, in concave mirror it is bulging inward. That means the reflection takes place from the inner side surface, that is this surface. The outer part is polished, okay, this part is polished. This shady portion is the polished surface, and this inner side onwards there is a reflection is taking place from inside. And what is convex mirror? Convex mirror is bulging outward. Bulging outward means what? It is bulged outside and the reflection takes place from this side, okay, this surface, this side, and it is polished from inside of the surface. Okay, now few basic terms related to mirrors. What they are, see one by one I'll explain you in the figure only. See children, as I explained you that spherical mirrors are a part of a sphere. For example, it is a sphere. If I polish it, if I cut into two parts and I polish this part from the outside surface, see outside part, then it becomes a concave mirror. This is called what? Concave mirror. Okay, why? Because the reflection will take place from inside. Likewise, if I polish this part of the sphere from inside, and then what will happen? The reflection will take place from outside surface. This part is called convex mirror. Okay, now see, since it is a part of a sphere, so every sphere has a center. Every sphere has a center and it has a radius as well. So for these two mirrors also, concave mirror and convex mirror, we will define the center, the radius, everything. Okay, see, this is called the aperture, beta. The plane in which the reflection can take place, that is called the aperture. The center of the aperture is known the pole. What it is known as? Pole. Okay children, from the pole, a line joining this pole to the center, let it be the center of the sphere. Okay, so this is called the center of curvature. What it is known as? Center of curvature, represented by capital C. The distance between C and pole is known as radius of curvature. The distance between center and the center of curvature and the pole is called radius of curvature. After that, see, between center of curvature and the pole we have a midpoint known as focus. What is known as focus, represented by capital F. So I have explained you four terms right now: aperture, pole, focus, and center of curvature. Like these things are for convex mirror also. This is just the pole. Then there is a line joining the pole to the, let it be the center. Let this be the center of curvature. Okay, and this is the midpoint between pole and the center of curvature is the focus. Okay, beta, again I am repeating, what is radius of curvature? The radius of curvature is the distance between the pole and the center of curvature. These are the terms which are related to spherical mirror, concave and convex mirror, children. Now see children, when you open your page number 52, you will find the terms related to curved mirrors, from which I have explained you pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, principal axis. Beta, the line, this line is known as principal axis. Okay, now principal focus, focal plane. What is focal length? See children, what is the focal length? The distance between pole and focus is known as focal length. The distance between pole and focus is known as focal length. And what is radius of curvature? The distance between pole and the center of curvature is radius of curvature. There is a relationship between F, that means focal length, and radius of curvature. But a focal length, focus is represented by capital F and focal length is represented by small f. Okay, Focal length is what? The distance between pole and focus is called the focal length. And what is radius of curvature? The distance between pole and center of curvature. There is a relationship between focal length and radius of curvature. What is that? That the focal length is half of radius of curvature. This is a relationship which is very, very important. This we will use in many numericals, children. F equals R by 2. F equals to R by 2. Focal length is the half of radius of curvature. Okay, children. Now see, children, uses of concave mirror. Now we are having many uses of these mirrors in our day-to-day life. Some of the uses I am going to discuss with you today. First of all, microscopes. In microscope, concave mirrors are used in microscopes to collect light from a lamp and shine it onto a slide containing a specimen so that it can be viewed through the magnification lens. In microscopes, that concave mirror is used to just focus the light on the slide on which the specimen is kept. So in microscope concave mirror is used. Then if you have visited to a dentist, or if your father is shaving at home, you must have seen that mirror they are using. That mirror is actually a concave mirror. The concave mirrors are often used as dentist mirrors, shaving mirrors and makeup mirrors. Okay, when objects held close to that mirror, what happens? The concave mirrors are giving a magnified image. Magnified means an enlarged image. For example, when your father is shaving by using a mirror, what they are doing, they are keeping their face near to that mirror, and then what happens? They are able to see their face magnified, and they can see their tiny hairs on their face, and they can shave them off. Okay. After that, concave mirrors are used in torches, headlights and floodlights as well. In telescopes also, concave mirrors are used. Okay, children, so there are many uses of concave mirrors in our day-to-day life. You can read them on page number 53 and learn them as well. Now, uses of convex mirror. What are the different uses of convex mirrors? You have seen sunglasses. They are used in making lenses of sunglasses and also used in magnifying glasses. If you have a magnifying glass with you, that magnifying glass is actually a convex mirror, because convex mirror always gives a magnified image. After that, if you have a car, you have seen the side view mirror. The side view mirrors are actually convex mirror. Because they forms an erect and smaller image. They forms what? Erect means straight. Okay, that means head will be seen as head, and the bottom will be is in the bottom in the image as well. So the convex mirror is used as side view mirror on the passenger side of a car because it forms an erect and smaller image of the car way behind. Okay, so if you have a convex mirror in your car, you must have seen and if your car is standing in traffic, then you can see how many cars and how much traffic is behind you by using that rear view mirror or the side view mirror. Now, street light reflectors. You must have seen street lights. Below that bulb, they have a curved mirror. That curved mirror is actually a convex mirror. Because why they are using? Because convex mirrors are diverging mirrors. Diverging means to spread. When the light falls on the convex mirror, it spreads the light, and on street our motive is to spread the light everywhere, every nook and corner. Okay, so in street lights, convex mirrors are used. Likewise, in banks and ATMs also convex mirrors are used. Just read the paragraph and you will get to know how they are used in banks and ATMs. Now, children, rules for making ray diagrams of spherical mirror. This I will explain you. See, rules for making ray diagrams, which I have explained in Zoom session as well. See, the first rule. What is the first rule? If it is a concave mirror, this is the convex mirror. If this is the principal axis, pole, focus and center of curvature, I have labeled everything. See, if an incident ray falls on the concave mirror parallel to the principal axis, see, incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then how it will go? Reflected rays, how will go? Reflected ray will always pass through the focus. Always keep it in mind, if an incident ray is passing parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray will pass through the focus. Same way in convex mirror you can see the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, so the reflected ray will pass through the focus. But here you can see in convex mirror the images are actually virtual. They are not going inside the mirror, but it is assumed that we are imagining that they are meeting at focus. So that's why in convex mirror this the light which we are showing inside of the mirror, we are showing it by dotted lines. Okay, and it is going through the focus, and so it will go like this way. Okay children, now second, if an incident ray is passing through the focus, see the incident rays, this arrow, see children, this arrow will show that light is coming. If light is coming, it is incident ray. This arrow is going outward, that means it is reflected ray. If an incident ray is passing through the focus, देखो focus से आती है, then how it will go? The reflected ray will be parallel to the principal axis. देखो दोनों अपोजिट है. अगर पैरेलल टू द प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस आएगी तो फोकस से जाएगी, और सेकेंड केस if it will come through the focus, it will pass through the parallel to the principal axis. Same way here, an incident ray falling on the focus, how it will go? Parallel to the principal axis. Third rule, see, if an incident ray is passing through the center of curvature, देखो center of curvature से आई तो कैसे जाएगी रिफ्लेक्टेड रे? इट विल रिट्रेस द पाथ. जिस रास्ते से आई थी उसी रास्ते से वो वापस चली जाएगी. इट विल रिट्रेस इट्स पाथ. ओके, if a ray of light is passing through the center of curvature, it will retrace its path. Same way in convex mirror you can see this arrow is showing that the incident ray is falling on the center of curvature, and how it is going back? The same ways, the same path. Now fourth rule, if an incident ray is falling on the pole, making an angle of incidence with the principal axis, then with the same angle of reflection it will reflect on the other side of the principal axis, having angle I equals to angle R. Same way here, incident ray falls on the pole, making an angle of incidence with this principal axis, and with the same angle of reflection it will reflect on the other side of the principal axis. See children, this already we have discussed in Zoom session. I have taken up this again so that few of you have missed that Zoom session. All of them you were not there in the Zoom session. That's why I have again revised this in this video. In the next Zoom session I will move ahead with real and virtual images and the ray diagrams. Till then your work is to read it and learn the rules for making ray diagrams children. Okay children, thank you.